time zones are more confusing than you think, and I've got the mind-blowing facts that will change how you see the world. Have you ever wondered why time changes as you travel across the world? Why you might leave home in daylight and arrive at your destination hours ahead or behind, even though it seems like you've barely been in the air? It's all connected to the Earth's rotation and the fascinating system of time zones we've created to keep track of it. Let's dive into the story behind time zones, how they work, and what they mean for the way we live our lives. Picture this. The Earth, a giant rotating ball in space, spinning at a speed of about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. Every 24 hours, the Earth completes a full 360-degree rotation, which gives us our day and night cycle. Now, if you think about it, 360 degrees divided by 24 hours means that every hour, the Earth rotates about 15 degrees. But how do we know what time it is in different parts of the world? That's where time zones come into play, and they've been cleverly designed using lines of longitude. These imaginary lines, known as meridians, stretch from the North Pole to the South Pole and help us divide the Earth into 24 time zones, one for each hour of the day. So, when we talk about time zones, we're essentially talking about these slices of Earth, each covering 15 degrees of rotation. But here's where it gets really interesting. The time you experience is directly related to your position on this rotating globe and where the sun is in the sky. Imagine standing on Earth in space. The side of the Earth facing the sun is bathed in daylight, and it's noon, 12 p.m. for the people directly under the sun. On the opposite side, it's midnight, 12 a.m., as that part of the Earth is in darkness. As the Earth rotates counterclockwise, different places move into and out of sunlight, creating our hours of the day. If we slow this motion down and watch it happen, you can see that as the Earth spins, different meridians cross into the sun's path, marking a new hour. Every 15 degrees, or roughly every hour, a new line of longitude hits the sunlight, marking the start of a new time zone for the people living there. That's why when you look at a world map, the time zones follow these vertical lines. But time zones aren't just about geography. They're also shaped by human decisions. Many countries, for political or practical reasons, have adjusted their time zones to be more in sync with their neighbors or to standardize time across larger regions. This is why you might see time zones that don't perfectly follow the lines of longitude. For example, countries like China cover multiple time zones geographically, but use only one official time zone for the entire country. Now, let's get practical. If you've ever traveled, you've experienced time zones firsthand. Have you ever noticed how time changes when you fly east or west? When you travel east, you're moving with the Earth's rotation, meaning time speeds up, and it's later than it was where you left. Travel west, and you're moving against the Earth's rotation, meaning you're effectively moving back in time. This is why jet lag happens. Your body's internal clock is still operating in your home time zone, while the local time at your destination is different. To understand this better, let's look at a simple example. Imagine you're in New York City, and it's 1 a.m. But what time is it in Denver? Since New York is east of Denver, time moves forward as you go west. Each time zone represents 1 hour. So, if it's 1 a.m. in New York and you go 2 time zones west to Denver, it's actually 11 p.m. the previous night. This simple calculation of subtracting or adding hours, depending on your direction of travel, helps you figure out the time anywhere on Earth. The concept of time zones becomes even more fascinating when we consider the prime meridian, which runs through Greenwich, England. This line is the starting point for measuring time around the world. As you move east or west from the prime meridian, the time changes accordingly. Travel east and you add hours, travel west and you subtract them. This is why flying from the United States to Europe often feels like you're losing time, while flying back feels like you're gaining hours. But time zones aren't always straightforward. Political borders, convenience, and even economic factors can alter where one time zone ends and another begins. Some regions choose to align their clocks with neighboring countries for easier trade or travel, even if geographically it doesn't make perfect sense. For instance, some parts of Europe are further east, but share the same time zone as those to their west. Similarly, countries like India have created unique time zones that fall between standard divisions, making the global time zone map a little less tidy than you might expect. These decisions aren't just about time. They're about how people, businesses, and countries function together in a global world. The real magic of time zones, however, lies in their ability to connect us all across vast distances. Whether you're scheduling a video call with someone halfway across the globe or planning a trip, understanding time zones helps make sense of the world's complex rhythms. Every moment of the day, somewhere, someone is waking up, going to sleep, or living through a moment that feels completely different from your own. Yet it's all happening on the same spinning planet. So, the next time you check your clock, think about the 15-degree rotation of the Earth that has brought you that exact time. It's a simple number, but behind it lies the incredible mechanics of our planet's motion and the human ingenuity that created time zones. And whether you're battling jet lag, counting hours between cities, or just wondering what time it is for someone far away, time zones are the key that keeps our world in sync. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.